Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the Cārvāka podcast. Adit will join us soon. He's just running a couple of minutes late. Um, Daddy duties for Adit. And always remember that is more important than a silly podcast. So don't worry. He's joining me. But I was like, I can start the podcast in the meantime and basically start interacting with all of you. And here I am. So, first of all, I want to start today's podcast by congratulating the women's cricket team. Congratulations to the girls, women, whatever you want to call them, for winning the 50 over World Cup. It was a fantastic win. Full disclosure, I did not watch the entire tournament other than I think मुझे लगता है मैंने लास्ट के 20 ओवर देखे होंगे. I just saw India chase. I think I must have seen um, the last 20-25 overs. That's it. That's all I saw of the entire tournament, and that's about it. And like, I've never hidden my views on women's cricket. I feel women's cricket is too slow for me. But now, kind of after watching the women's final, I can say it's fun to watch it. It's like, to me, watching women's cricket today is like watching cricket of the 60s and 70s, where the spinners used to really flight. Oh, sorry, South Africa was chasing, India was bowling. So yeah, I saw the batting highlights. So what I'm trying to say is that um, the spinners bowling, this is like reminds me of how, how Bishan Bedi used to bowl, and there were a lot of late cuts. Like, I see the cover drives the girls hit. The trajectory of the shot is not like the men. It's a very different trajectory that um uh, you know the way they go. And नहीं, मैंने ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मैच नहीं देखा. मैंने फाइनली देखा, मैंने ऑस्ट्रेलिया का कुछ नहीं देखा था. आई जस्ट मिस स्पोक. So uh it's like, if you this is my analysis of 25 overs of watching South Africa bat and watching the Indian highlights. It was that, let's say, if a man hits a cover drive, it goes at like this direction. It's like that, the trajectory. When the girls hit it, it goes like this. I could notice the trajectory, like the height of the shot. But there was this one South African lady, that was insane. She was so powerful. वो जो नीचे आई थी with the captain when they started having that partnership. What was her name? Like, मेरे को तो नाम भी नहीं मालूम है. Uh, what was her name? That lady was powerful, man. Like, whoa, she could hit. She was tonking the ball. Yeah, Dirksen, that lady. That lady was powerful. So that was impressive. Or Dirksen, I don't know how do you pronounce her name, but she could like tonk the ball. She was tonking the ball. And then when I was watching the Indian highlights, I saw Shefali uh, Verma. She kind of tonks the ball. So she clearly is a modern day version of a female player, and she looked like, okay, she could clear. But I still feel, I think the ball, what I was seeing, like the girls kind of struggle with the ball. I think the ball size should be reduced for the girls because the palm sizes are different, right? So that was one thing I could notice. I could be wrong, but I felt it was unfair on the girls. And the other thing I noticed was, I've not seen enough of Australia to have a judgment, but when I was looking at like India field, other than maybe that Rodriguez girl like Jemmy, or one or two like Smriti Mandana and Harmanpreet, all the other Indian players, boy, they are slow. They are slow. Like, oh, who was that seamer that we have? Renuka? Is that the name? Let me check the name. Renuka, right? I think, yeah. Renuka Singh, the seamer. Oh, man. Like, she's so slow on the field. Like, it's just the pace of the game overall when the girls um, play is just slower. This is my opinion. Just so it's a different kind of aesthetic, and it's a aesthetic that I if it full disclosure, if the spinners are bowling, like in the girls, if the spinners are bowling, it's fun to watch. Seamers, not fun to watch. These are all my views. Okay, you can call me prejudiced or whatever. These are my views. I found it to be very very like so like as a product I didn't enjoy it. But the spinners, when the girls were bowling, the spinners were bowling and the girls were batting, that was a lot of fun to watch. That I accept, because there was a lot of guile, a lot of skill. I saw bits and bobs of Smriti Mandana batting and how she plays like behind the square. She late cuts a lot. It's brilliant to watch. That bit is brilliant to watch. But other than that, I guess it's not overall. Uh, I still stick to my perspective. I don't enjoy the women's game. I just, if you're asking me, would I watch it again after this? No, I won't. I won't. I want them to make shitloads of money. I want them to be as successful as possible. I wish they win everything. I wish all the good things for them. I just won't watch it. Is all I'm saying. Uh, and okay, let me take this like that we compare women with men and have an unconscious bias. That's not an unconscious bias. I disagree with Ashwin. That's not an unconscious bias. That's a preference. Preferences are not biases. I disagree. People confuse one with the other. I think Ashwin is a very smart man, but I think his articulation is different. People have preferences. It's different. These are aesthetic choices. Like I just don't see the level of rip that a male spinner can get, that a female spinner would get. But I don't see the level of flight female spinner can get that a male spinner will get. I think it is all a choice. So yeah, hey,
Yes. Sorry,
Adit back.
sorry, sorry. I'm here.
Yeah, I was just talking about the final, how I just
Sorry.
watched Indian girls bowling like 25, 30 overs, and I still stick to my guns. So I'll just give you a rundown. I can't watch females cricket. Yeah, watching the spinners bowl was fun, but no, I can't watch it. But yeah, I'm very happy for them. I'm glad that they made all this money, but can't watch it. But yeah, I'll leave it to you. We'll start with the Women's World Cup, then we'll get into the T20 series, and then we'll get into India versus South Africa.
First of all, congratulations to the women. Magnificent win. It felt like we have achieved, like, overcome a hump. Um, One sort of thing I've read a lot on social media was like, oh, this is 1983. This is 1983. No, it's not 1983. In my opinion, this is like 2011 when India won, because in 1983, no one was expecting India to do anything in the World Cup, and we came and won the World Cup. The Women's World Cup team, we had a couple of heartbreaks where we reached the final, couldn't get it too far. Australia and England were,
17, right? The
yeah,
girls had reached
17,
the final.
right? So that's why I got the 2011 example, because 2003, we reached the final in the men's World Cup, and then we won it in 2011. In 2017, I remember Anya Shrubsole or something, if I'm not mistaken, that was the English bowler. We were cruising towards victory in against England in England, and she picked up 5 wickets, and we lost the World Cup. And so it, with women's cricket, it was a sense of inevitability had gotten, because our playing had reached very good levels. Our cricketers are playing in the WBBL. The WPL is doing pretty well as well. So you saw that happening. But with the injuries in the beginning of the World Cup, there was some sort of skepticism. But that semi-final, right? Like that semi-final against Australia, beating Australia, the best team in the world right now, and getting to the final. there was a bit of an inevitability about it. I think even at their heart, people knew that we can take care of South Africa in the final if we beat Australia in the semi-final. That was always going to be our big thing. But credit to the cricketers. They hung in there. I think there was this wonderful bit when Harmanpreet Kaur gave the trophy to Julan Goswami and
Yeah,
Mithali Raj. And Julan Goswami was our captain, I believe, in the 2017 final, right?
yeah.
So she was just raising the trophy and just hitting the ground and just tearing up, and oh, it was just, it's giving me goosebumps as I say it. So those moments were just unbelievable, and Indian cricket deserved those moments. And another shout out to Ian Bishop. He called the semi final, he called the final, and a phenomenal call to describe what India's journey has been, right? It was not just the moment. I don't know if you heard the Ian Bishop's call or you were watching the other feed, but man, I was watching the world feed and Ian Bishop was outstanding. I mean, I got up and started clapping. I mean, my dad was clapping, and he was a little emotional, and he was telling me, he's like, man, when we were growing up, we never knew that, and he's like, women's cricket was not that big when, although it has started, you had your Diana Aduljis and stuff, but then in the last 10 years he had started watching a little bit, and he's like, man, this is just a very emotional moment.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of shocked when Mitali Raj was on London Top talking about how awful the pay for the women was,
Right.
and so credit to all those women, right? I mean,
Correct.
the driving factor clearly was not money for them. See,
Hmm.
the driving factor is like whatever is happening with the men in 1980s is happening with the women in 2005.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous. So that
Right.
is point number one. So on that, I believe there was a lot of discussion, right, when the men's team won the T20 World Cup recently. I think they got 100 crore plus, and the women's team, after winning the 50 over World Cup, just got 51 crores, and I feel that was wrong. I think they should have gone a similar thing. For two reasons: 20 over World Cup in my eyes is not as special. A 50 over World Cup win is a better and bigger win, and
Correct.
that to getting the first one, I think the BCCI should have given them more
Hmm.
money in that regard. I'm glad Smriti, Jemmy both got 2.5 crores from the Maharashtra government. At least चेक का फोटो तो दिखा भी, एक्चुअल चेक मिलेगा कि नहीं वो तो समय ही बताएगा. But I think Richa Ghosh also got. I mean, all the girls, whenever they went to their respective state governments, they did get that respect, and overall, that was all good. Like I said, it's a great thing, and it this World Cup victory will do wonders for the women's game in India, is because it will bring in more eyeballs.
Correct.
What I could notice was that in the semi-finals, they were really, like, the tickets were at as good as free, but the
Hmm.
finals, they jacked up the prices and people still came, so that's a
Correct.
good sign. Again, the crowds in India are warming up to the women's game,
Mhm.
and they're watching the women's game for the product that it is, and that's good. Like, I don't watch that product, but clearly there are enough takers for that kind of a product in India, which is a very heartening sign, and overall that augurs well for women's cricket in
Correct.
India, and I hope more and more people support the women's game. And see, this is not the prize money. People often confuse. This is like, are ye to prize money. No, this is just an award from BCCI. So from a pure what they have achieved perspective, what the
Hmm.
boys achieved by winning the T20 World Cup, it was not the first ever World Cup win, is not, the girls won the first ever 50 over World Cup. So yes, the girls should have gotten the same thing. So it's not a market recommended thing. And in some of these things, in fact, if anything, this shows that Jay Shah is proven right. Jay Shah invested a lot of money in the women's game, and Jay Shah got the results.
Hmm.
So you have to
No,
give
and I
credit
think
to Jay Shah.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, Kushal and I, we our record speaks for itself. We have criticized the BCCI where it needs to be criticized, and sometimes in, very, very no, in no uncertain terms. But credit where it's due, they do. And I mean, the women cricketers know what has changed in the last few years since when Jasha has taken over BCCI, and this is really and it was a more of an intent thing, right? Because this was a low hanging fruit. The BCCI had the resources to put money into the women's game and change it, but just for some reason they were not doing it. So I'm glad they did it, and I'm glad Jaisha led the efforts. And now, see, I kind of agree with Kushal on one thing, that the style of play that has crept in the game is a little slow paced and stuff. And it's a little bit unfair because the men's game has gone very fast paced. So inevitable comparisons do take place on how the game drifts apart and the game doesn't drift apart and stuff. So the ICC needs to look into and see, get creative with the women's game. First of all, don't make it exactly like how the men's game is. Introduce some new thing, some new feature that makes it has it a little bit of edge. You have the eyeballs, you have the people watching it. Now kind of make sure that you get sort of you get creative with how you do it. I don't know. I mean, I can't think of, maybe you start the 50 over games as 225 innings over games. I don't know. There are interesting things that can happen, but the main thing that the ICC needs to look is, no one sort of pays attention to the bilateral games in between the 50 over World Cups. So you have to do something to get eyeballs in those bilateral games. The men's game is at the level it is because really in 2 weeks the Ashes starts. In 2 days, less than 2 days, India South Africa starts.
Oh,
And
well, in India, literally tomorrow.
it's literally tomorrow. Sorry, huh? My time zone is kind of right now warped. So in a day, India South Africa starts. And guess what? Kushal and I couldn't give two hoots about the World Cup, T20 World Cup that's starting in 4 months or 5 months. Because to us, good, there's T20 World Cup, we'll be watching it and stuff. I think it's about a month. We will be more excited about the Ashes and India South Africa, and then India New Zealand and stuff, the test matches that are happening. And so until and unless the women's game gets to that critical juncture where people are more excited about bilateral, or just as excited about bilateral games, it is going to suffer, it is going to struggle. So I hope something like that changes.
Oh, no, you were right. The match starts on 14th, not 13th. Sorry.
देख लो भाई, मतलब मेरी
Hmm.
कॉफी को दोष दिया
So I
पर
am in India, still living in some other weird time
हाँ
zone. मैं
हाँ
एक दिन और आगे हूँ.
साला मैं, मेरे दिमाग में क्या हो गया, मेरे लिए 1.5 दिन है, इंडिया में इट्स 2 days when it starts.
Hmm. और मैं उल्टा चले गया. It's okay. Shit
It's all
happens.
good, it's all good. So
Yeah,
uh,
so now चलो लेडीज लोगों का हो गया अभी. T20 सीरीज हम जीत गए 2-1. 2 मैच बारिश से ये हो गए. लास्ट T20 आई भी वॉश आउट हो गया. So what
correct.
are your thoughts on the T20 series?
I mean, it was good. India looked pretty good.
Question it was it needed? I think Cricket Australia demanded this. India did not demand this. Cricket
Probably,
Australia like थोड़ा पैसा कमाना है, बेचो अपने players को.
probably, but I will say one thing is, again, the fear that I have is Surya Kumar Yadav against the moving ball, man. That one spell when Hazelwood ran through us and stuff, and when the ball is swinging, he still looks a little suspect
Yeah, but T20 World Cup is in India. कौन सा
in
ball
India.
move होने वाला है?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. If that is the case, then we should be fine. कि कुछ होने नहीं वाला है. Abhishek Sharma just looked
See,
outstanding.
yeah, that is the biggest thing for me. The biggest takeaway for me was Abhishek Sharma. This was his big test. ये तो लड़का पक्का अच्छा प्लेयर है ये. मतलब ऑस्ट्रेलियन पिचेस
मतलब
में भी खेल के आया है लौंडा.
correct. Shubman looked very patchy in the first 3 games. Got little bit better. Fifth game, he looked phenomenal. How do we do this Jaiswal Shubman Gill thing?
I
I don't
think
know, man.
Jaiswal comes over Gill in T20s. They're just playing Gill because they want him to be the captain.
No, I
It's very
agree.
obvious now. The
I've
only
said that
reason
before
Gill is
the
playing is
series.
because they want him to be the captain.
Exactly. I've said it before the series. Jaiswal has to play. I mean, absolutely has to
Jaiswal
play.
plays instead of Sky eventually. I think
Yeah,
Sky will go after this World Cup. तो चले जाएगा.
I I agree. I agree. I think Gill needs to drop down to one down. And the other insanity is not playing Arshdeep Singh instead of Harshit Rana. That is another stupid Gautam Gambhir thing. If the World Cup, when the World Cup starts, your two bowlers should be Arshdeep Singh, Jasprit Bumrah. There should not even be a question. Who's your first
Yeah,
two
yeah.
bowlers? मतलब I don't know what the hell is thinking. अगर हर्षित को खिलाना है तो have him as a third bowler if at all. In my
Harshit Rana
opinion,
is
he should
not
go.
going to play in Indian conditions here. He's not going to play in Indian.
I don't know what Gautam Gambhir thinks,
See,
man.
in Indian conditions, your team is pretty much sorted.
Hmm.
You're going to have Washington Sundar playing because it's India, Akshar Patel playing because it's India, Kuldeep Yadav playing because it's India.
नहीं वो वरुण चक्रवर्ती को खिलाता है ना instead of कुलदीप यादव.
Varun bhi khelega. You don't need two seamers in India, boss. You don't need two seamers in India. Only
I don't
Bumrah will
know.
play.
I don't know. I think Bumrah and Arshdeep should
अरे
play
भाई
because
हार्दिक पांड्या है तेरा सेकंड सीमर
that is
यार. Why do you
Hardik
need?
Pandya.
हार्दिक
That is
पांड्या है वो ओपन करेगा बुमराह के साथ.
Hardik Pandya.
खत्म
Yeah.
हो गया. तू बाकी के ऑलराउंडर भर दे. नंबर 10 तक बैटिंग कर दो.
But
नंबर
can I
9
ask
तक.
you? Can I ask you something? I'm not a fan of Shivam Dubey in this lineup.
भाई उससे तो क्या उसको तो विकेट ही मिलते गए. उससे वो लास्ट जो हम लोग थर्ड जो सेकंड T20 जीते ये लोग के
हाँ
अगेंस्ट
नहीं मैं बैटिंग की
फोर्थ
बात
मैच
कर रहा हूँ
उसमें भी उससे 2 विकेट ले ली
नहीं मैं
लॉर्ड
उसकी
ने.
बैटिंग की बात कर रहा हूँ बिकॉज उसकी बॉलिंग तो इंडिया में जरूरत पड़ने नहीं वाली इफ हार्दिक पांड्या इज देयर आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट वंस हार्दिक पांड्या इज देयर शिवम दुबे गोज आउट एंड
See,
दैट आई
my playing 11 in India is because I know Gill is playing. So Gill, Abhishek Sharma, Surya Kumar Yadav, ये 3 हो गए तुम्हारे. फिर तिलक वर्मा 4 हो गया. 4 हो गया. अभी नंबर 5 पता नहीं कौन होगा. ये लोग ऋषभ पंत को ले आएंगे. तू देख लेना. ये लोग ऋषभ पंत वो तेरे को बोल रहा है. ये लोग ऋषभ पंत को लाने वाले हैं. ये लोग ऋषभ पंत को ले आएंगे. या वो जितेश होगा या ऋषभ पंत होगा. दोनों में से एक होगा. और बाकी तेरे फिर बाकी के 6 जो है अभी हम लोग ने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिए.
नो आई थिंक
हार्दिक होगा ना. हार्दिक होगा. हार्दिक 6.
No, so Shivam
7
Dubey,
अक्षर.
I support Shivam Dubey being replaced by Hardik Pandya. That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. So this is
भाई हार्दिक पांड्या 6 पे आएगा. 7 पे तेरा अक्षर पटेल आएगा. 8 पे तेरा ये अपना वॉशिंगटन सुंदर आएगा. फिर तेरा 9 पे कौन आएगा?
9 I mean 9 10 11
कुलदीप यादव, वरुण चक्रवर्ती और बुमराह.
And Bumrah, yeah, exactly. So we have enough bowlers. उसका तो टेंशन है ही नहीं. It's this World Cup we are the favorites. India not winning should be a shocker.
Yeah.
India should be sweeping through the World Cup. Ideally, we have the squad to do it. So अब देखने वाली बात है क्या होता है.
Yeah,
can we go back to back?
I think India will. India is. I mean, see in the ODIs it was so one last thing I wanted to discuss. There is another bit of news. I don't know if you saw. हमने ये last time discuss किया था after 50 over format का. And the news is here. Rohit Sharma has informed about his availability for Mumbai in the Vijay Hazare Trophy.
Yep, I told you. Remember?
So Rohit is clear. मैं तो खेलेगा 27 का World Cup.
And he should. And he absolutely should. Dekho, Virat should play the Vijay Hazare Trophy as well because clearly we saw with Virat once he got match practice, he was in phenomenal shape. So I've said this again. Whether he stays in Scotland, Ireland,
but should then Virat खेलेगा Vijay Hazare?
खेलना चाहिए. I mean, I completely think he should. मतलब उसको उज्बेकिस्तान में रहना तो I don't care. During every game he should be there, and I don't even care if BCCI provides him for the tickets. BCCI के पास उतना पैसा है that they can fly down Virat Kohli from wherever in the world to Delhi to play for the games. He doesn't even have to stay for a week. come in 2 days before the game, spend some time with the team, play the game, and go. And then if he wants to stay, BCCI can arrange a stay in a 5-star hotel in Delhi, right? And he can just show up to the camp. I think Virat Kohli needs match time, and whatever way we can get. अगर उसको शेफील्ड शील्ड मतलब ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जाके if he wants to play domestic, if he wants to play ODI domestics in England, if he is indeed spending his time in London, and if he wants to play ODI for a county tournament, man, he's going to sell out freaking stadiums in England, and he should. Why not? Like, that should be. Can you imagine if Virat Kohli plays for a county side in England for 6 months? That's going to be insane cinema. It'll be just a lot of fun. So I hope for his sake he does play.
I don't know. Let's see. Only time will tell. All I know is I think Rohit's decision to play Vijay Hazare is a very, very good decision. And it just shows Rohit's level of seriousness.
Also, I'll tell you
his
something.
Determination.
Okay, and I don't want to attribute motives, but Virat has won a World Cup in 2011. The reason he was in the squad is he replaced a certain Rohit Sharma. This is the only tournament Rohit badly won. I mean, the hunger to win the ODI World Cup, because Rohit was in the squad that won the T20 World Cup in 2007. He was dropped for the 2011 World Cup. Like, he was a regular part, and then he was dropped, and then Virat wins it. So I think Rohit has that hunger to win as well. So that is a motivation.
All right, now let's get to the Test series.
Freedom Trophy.
वैसे, by the way, in the last 13 T20I series tournaments, India has drawn one and basically won every single T20 tournament.
Wow. Kya baat hai.
Just letting people know.
Yeah, that's how dominant we are.
So this is our test squad. I'll first bring up the Indian test squad.
Yep.
So you have Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant is back, Yashasvi Jaiswal. So here's my playing 11.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the openers are Rahul and Jaiswal. Now, one down is a free for all. I heard Ryan Descartes saying that Jurel is playing. So if Jurel is playing, वो साला batting किधर करने वाला है?
If Jurel there is no way Shubman Gill should play one down. He's a monster at 2 down, and do not jack with that. Like, his record at 2 down.
Wash ही जाएगा 1 down.
शायद देवदत्त पडिक्कल. It will be either देवदत्त पडिक्कल or
पडिक्कल तो टीम में ही नहीं होने वाला है. तू यार पडिक्कल.
नहीं, I agree. No, I'm saying or.
वो तू यार जो टीम में होने वाला है उसकी बात कर.
Okay, so Gill, Jaiswal openers, Sai Sudarshan 1 down. Our Shubman Gill number 4, KL Rahul number 5. Okay.
अबे KL Rahul टेस्ट मैच में ओपनिंग कर रहा है.
सॉरी, ओपनिंग. अरे मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, गिल राहुल क्या बोल रहा हूँ. जयसवाल राहुल ओपनिंग, Sai Sudarshan 3, Shubman Gill number 4, then number 5 Dhruv. If we are playing in India, Jadeja and Akshar Patel both will play. I don't think Washington Sundar plays. So if Jadeja and Akshar Patel are number 6 and 7, that leaves number 5 open, which will be Rishabh Pant. Agar Dhruv Jurel
Akshar Patel play.
You think you play big Washington Sundar over Akshar Patel?
Obviously, the 2 left-arm spinners have no sense in India. Last series we I don't agree with you. 2 left-arm spinners, they're so similar. I would play Washington Sundar over Akshar Patel.
I mean, now that I look at Kuldeep Yadav, maybe they'll play Washington Sundar because Kuldeep is also a left-arm spinner. So
so this is going to be the most likely.
So then Dhruv Jurel, you're right. Dhruv Jurel ki jagah hi nahi hai. The only way he plays is without Sai Sudarshan. Otherwise, there is no other spot. Number 5.
Yeah. So and I honestly wouldn't mind. Whatever I've seen of Sai Sudarshan and Nitish Reddy, they've released him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why he would play. The only interesting part is who are your last 3, right? Which are probably going to be Siraj, Bumrah, and Kuldeep. Eden Gardens, I read a preview on Cricinfo this morning that Eden Gardens expected that there was going to be certain swing and seam in the conditions. I hope India doesn't get just worried just based on the condition and go with 3 seamers, because that would be suicidal. that's not our strength, that would be suicidal for going with three seamers. But you never know, like, if what is the pitch like.
अरे कौन इंडिया में थ्री सीमर्स खिलाता है?
नहीं
इट्स
नहीं
गोइंग टू बी
खिलाते.
अ नॉर्मल पिच जो बैटिंग पिच होगी और जो डे 4 और 5 में ये लोग टर्न कराएंगे, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू रिस्क प्लेइंग अ टर्निंग ट्रैक अगेंस्ट साउथ अफ्रीका, बिकॉज दे मस्ट हैव सीन व्हाट साउथ अफ्रीका डिड इन पाकिस्तान,
Correct.
बिकॉज साउथ अफ्रीका हैज अ डैम गुड साइड.
Yes. I mean it. I mean, they're the world champions, right? They won. They won that. They won the freaking ICC World Championship. And I was looking at their side. You know, obviously, Kagiso Rabada is excellent. Maharaj is going to be a handful in
अरे
India.
भाई बवूमा इज बैक, सो
Hmm.
टोनी डिजोर्जी खेलेगा, बवूमा खेलेगा, इनका
Hmm.
एडन मार्करम खेलेगा, ये तीन तो पक्का खेलने वाले हैं.
Yeah,
ठीक
and
है,
then you have Ryan Rickelton. Ryan Rickelton has had
रायन
very good.
रिकल्टन खेलेगा. सो रायन रिकल्टन विल ओपन विथ whom इन लोगों के लिए? आई
No,
तो
no. So see, that is the issue, right? Because they have usually preferred to play Kyle Varian as the keeper, but Ryan Rickelton has experience in playing for the Mumbai Indians, because he's the keeper there. So he's had more experience playing in India than they've had. So I think they may have to choose कि दोनों में से किसको खिलाएंगे.
no. So in my opinion, their openers are Ryan Rickelton and this one Aiden Markram.
Right.
One down is Tony Dizorzi. Number
Mhm.
4 is Temba Bavuma. Number
Correct.
4 तक तो ये पक्के हैं.
So then
अगर
Ryan Rickelton, you're saying Ryan
मगर
Rickelton
they
plays as a
usually
batsman.
play Ryan Mulder na at one down. In Pakistan they were playing Mulder na at one down.
No, they were not. They were playing Tristan Stubbs.
नहीं, Ryan Mulder was playing one down.
No, the second look at the second test match. In the second test
Second
match,
test match में they had changed.
and I this should be the correct lineup. That means what you're saying is Ryan Rickelton plays as a proper batsman rather than a wicketkeeper batsman, which is fine. So you have Markram, Rickelton, Stubbs, Tony Dizorzi, Devol Brewis, Kyle Varian, and stuff. Now, because Temba is back, where does Temba play? Right? Does
He
Temba
plays
go
in the middle order. Where else?
middle order? Right? So then who goes out? So I think maybe Tony Dizorzi goes out and plays Temba Bavuma if they stick with Ryan Rickelton as an opener.
No, I think who goes out is Ryan Mulder. He goes out. वो क्या करेगा डब्ल्यू मीडियम पे सर? उसका क्या काम है इंडिया में?
नहीं, पर वेन मुल्ला ने सेकंड टेस्ट वैसे भी नहीं खेला. In second
तो
test match, they had Semuran Muthusamy,
I think
Simon Hart.
साउथ अफ्रीका का मोस्ट लाइकली इन लोगों का होने वाला है. ओपनर होंगे रिकल्टन और ये अपना माकरम. वन डाउन पे इनका आएगा टोनी डिजोर्जी या कौन आएगा इनका वन डाउन पे?
Tristan Stubbs. I think it'll be
Stubbs.
Yeah.
नहीं,
it'll be
स्टब्स को
Stubbs.
नहीं लेंगे, मगर चल स्टब्स, डिजोर्सी, बबूमा, ये इनके 5 हो गए. अभी नंबर 6 पे ये लोग किसको लेंगे वो मेन है. कायल वरेना नंबर 6 होगा. नंबर 7 में मार्को यानसन आएगा. फिर वो कहाँ गया वो, अरे हाँ, सेनुरन मुत्तुस्वामी नंबर 8. और ओ भाई ये बैटिंग करता है, बहुत डेंजर है आदमी. इसके फर्स्ट क्लास में बहुत 100s हैं. ये तो साला बहुत अच्छा बैट्समैन है नंबर 8 के लिए. ये तो फाड़ू है. मैं इसके रिकॉर्ड देख गया, मैं हिल गया. इसने तो बहुत जबरदस्त दुखी किया, पाकिस्तान को भी दुखी किया इसने उधर जब मैं देख रहा था. फिर केशव महाराज आएगा तेरा नंबर 9, साइमन हार्मर नंबर 10, और ये भी बहुत खतरनाक है ये हार्मर साला बॉलर. और नंबर 11 तेरा कगिजो रबाडा आएगा. और रबाडा और मार्को यानसन तेरे सीमर्स होंगे इनके. और इनके 3 स्पिनर होंगे महाराज, हार्मर and Senuran Muthuswamy. This is a solid. This is a much stronger team in Indian conditions than what the Aussies have in Indian conditions.
Correct, because they have solid spinners and they have spinning all-rounders, right? And don't forget, if indeed the wicket swings or seams or something, they can call in Corbin Bosch, who is a fast bowling all-rounder.
Corbin Bosch nahi, they can call in Ryan Mulder then. Ryan Mulder
is medium pace. Dekho, if the pitch is swinging, like if the conditions are there, you want a little bit of pace. I think Corbin Bosch has a little bit of
India में कोई swing वाली pitch होने वाली है.
भाई Eden Gardens में I don't know the weather in Kolkata, but don't discount because Kolkata or Guwahati दोनों East Coast में games है, so they are early starts. Like Guwahati में the game
गुवाहाटी का
starts at
गुवाहाटी का तूने और टाइमिंग का सुना कि नहीं?
हाँ
गुवाहाटी में तो मेरे को
insane.
इतनी हंसी आई. इट इज सो वियर्ड. लाइक व्हाट द हेल आर दे डूइंग?
अबे
सो
साले डे
एज
नाइट
पर
टेस्ट मैच
ईएसपीएन.
खिलाओ ना गुवाहाटी में, क्या
नहीं
बकवास
नहीं,
कर रहे
गुवाहाटी का
हो.
ये पढ़ना, ESPN Cricket Info. So due to early sunrise and sunset in Guwahati, the
हाँ
second India versus South Africa test will see players having tea first, followed by lunch.
हाँ
Play will begin at 9 a.m. with the tea break to be taken at 11, with
हाँ.
the 40-minute lunch break at 1:20 and stumps scheduled at 4. अरे भाई, काय को खेल रहे हो इधर?
नहीं, और या तो फिर डे नाइट टेस्ट मैच खिलाओ ना आप. Like you, the Guwahati has lights. Just have a pink ball test match, but they are scared because South Africa ka swing attack becomes very crazy in a night atmosphere. Uh, but basically, the I'll tell you, yeah, ek to first of all, India needs to get this sorted out. This one time zone thing is insane. Like Guwahati, like just look where Delhi is and Guwahati is. The time
Hmm.
is crazy. Second, you have to plan for test matches now. If you are having test matches on the east side in November, December when the light is fading, either have night test matches or do something or start at 8:30. Because technically people are like, अरे 8 बजे तो कौन खेलेगा? What they don't understand is because we don't have a time zone, the 8 a.m. light in Guwahati is like 9 a.m. light in Delhi. Guwahati
Yeah.
is literally even east of Bangladesh. And Bangladesh is what, half an hour time difference to Delhi, or already आधा घंटा तो difference है. So I mean, it's crazy that we are not accounting this in this day and age. And if we don't want to have a different time zone, that's fine. But then the cricket needs to adjust where it starts at a different time. और 8 बजे इंडिया में देखने आएंगे लोग. In fact, people for 11 a.m. starts and 10 a.m. starts sit at 8 o'clock in their seats. So if and we need to get into this mindset, Kushal, that either we do that or we have a day night test match in Guwahati.
Yeah, I think these two are the most likely sides that we're going to have. Like, I just wanted to share the image of the
Correct.
South African squad also for our viewers. But
Memorand
yeah, I think
Muthuswamy is the Ravindra Jadeja, by the way.
बहुत
He is that.
खतरनाक है वो.
मतलब when you don't expect it, साला 50-60 मार के जाएगा. And
अरे, he
that is
took a
why
10 for against Pakistan, यार.
it is freaking annoying. And I know South Africa may have picked this to not have be 3 test matches. It is freaking annoying that this series is not 3 games. It should have been
Yeah, I
three
mean,
test
yeah,
matches.
South Africa doesn't want to play 3 tests, यार. What do you do? They just don't want to play.
आप लोग मतलब 5 T20 यार क्या घंटा खेलने वाले हैं यार. I mean, this is just
यार
annoying.
अभी मेरे को नहीं मालूम यार, ये लोगों को बस अभी बस पैसा पैसा करती है, तू पैसे पे क्यों मरती है, ये गाना
Yeah.
गाओ अभी हर एक
Team,
बोर्ड के लिए.
you should have had 3 ODIs, 3 T20s, and three test matches, and that's it. Like, this is just annoying.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I honestly feel after a long time, a series in India, domestic series in India, I feel South Africa, I won't say they are the favorites because, come on, let's be real. But I think South Africa has a good, solid 35-40% chance of winning this series.
Bhai, when we lost to New Zealand 3-0, we've never called New Zealand favorites. So this
No,
team has.
but because they were not, yeah. They were
They
not
were
like,
not.
what
No.
the hell did
But I'm
India do
saying,
in that series?
yeah, no. But I'm saying there is a path to beat India, and that is you pack the side with spinners and you pack the side with people who can play well against their Indian spinners. And South Africa have done that, right? And look at the South Africa squad. So much IPL experience there. Deval Brewers, Tristan Stubbs, Kagiso Rabada, they play in and out. So
Yeah.
it's going to be very interesting.
So that's something I wanted to talk about also. I think a lot of people underestimate the reality that uh, not only have Indians gotten used to playing outside India, which is why India does well in Sena countries now. I think the Sena country people have now, thanks to IPL, gotten used to playing in India now.
Correct.
So they
Exactly.
also now, when they come to India now or in the subcontinent in general, because of the IPL and all these leagues that they play, right? See, a lot of these players, they also play in the Bangladesh Premier League. I know they अभी PSL में इतना नहीं है, मगर थोड़े बहुत PSL भी खेलते हैं. Then they play that Dubai League. So a lot of these overseas players, right? They are no longer, in like, अरे ये कहाँ आ गया मैं, ये कैसी पिच है, ये क्या conditions हैं, breathing polluted air. They're actually kind of trained in all this.
Correct. Absolutely.
So I actually feel कि अभी वो जो ऑरा होता था ना ओवरसीज जाने का, आई
Uh-huh.
थिंक वो बोथ वेज कम हो गया है. ओवरसीज टीम्स कमिंग टू इंडिया एंड इंडिया गोइंग ओवरसीज. लाइक ठीक है, बॉर्डर गावस्कर हम 3-1 हारे, बट आई स्टिल स्टिक टू माय गन्स. इफ बुमराह वाज bowling in the second innings, ऑस्ट्रेलिया could not have chased 160 odd, और हम जीत जाते थे वो मैच अगर बुमराह खेलता था.
Correct.
एंड in hindsight, it would have been 2-all. Even after all that drama, it would have been 2-all. So
Absolutely.
it's just that the gulf between the top 4-5 teams
Same
now in
against
Test
England,
cricket,
by the way, boss. Same
yeah,
against England.
the gap between the top 4-5 teams in Test cricket has reduced significantly. In my opinion, India, Australia, England, South Africa, New Zealand are very closely competitive sides in Test cricket now. Beyond that, yes. Or did you hear the news of that कि अभी वो 12 टीमें होने वाली है नेक्स्ट साइकिल में?
किस में? टेस्ट साइकिल में?
हाँ.
I think that's good if that happens. I was going to bring up another crazy stat. तो पता है T20 World Cup 2028 में they are planning 32 teams.
So two-tier system has been scrapped, FYI.
Thank
That's
God.
what has been reported.
Jai Shah is listening to us. That's what has happened.
Two-tier system has been scrapped. I think everybody वो इंग्लैंड ने बोला होगा ए हम लोग नीचे चले गए तो हम क्या करेगा. So this is what has been reported. ये इंडिया टुडे का आर्टिकल है. So two-tier system unlikely as ICC plans 12-team WTC cycle in 2027.
Good.
The proposed two-tier is unlikely to move forward as the ICC is like 12 full members कर रहे हैं भाई. मगर ये कौन है ये 12? Currently 9 है और 9 में भी रद्दी है नीचे की टीमें.
नहीं भाई, Zimbabwe, Afghanistan, Ireland, those three. I think those three deserve to play. I mean, those three absolutely deserve to play. They need time playing experience. I think Afghanistan though obviously can handle test matches. If you tell me Zimbabwe and Ireland aren't better than Bangladesh in test match cricket, then I have a bridge to sell you. The only reason Bangladesh gets a little bit better is because they have these absolute dust bowls that they played in Dhaka and Chittagong or Chattogram and where they play. Ireland can create those swinging wickets in Dublin, call Bangladesh there and bundle them out below 200 in 2 innings and win the game.
और एक और चीज हो गई है, वनडे सुपर लीग को रिवाइव कर रहे हैं.
अरे यार, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this, but we'll see.
I don't know. Let's see.
The problem is कि the issue is मुझे कभी-कभी लगता है these ICC people are sitting vela and they're like क्या करें, चलो 2 साल का assignment किसी को दे देते हैं. Yeah, right. This test match system I do approve. 12 test series. This is how it should be. Maybe instead of 2 years, make the test match window 3 years and have more people playing. But Kushal and I have said this one thing, and we are going to repeat this ad nauseum. Have 2 windows for test matches from November to March. From July to September, make sure all test cricket takes place. मतलब कितना मजा आएगा यार. Like you have 3 months and then you have complete ramp up towards the test match window. 5 test matches happening at the same time across the world. It'll be brilliant. Why can't India, Australia? I mean, like India, Australia, and England, India, South Africa, and England, Australia is happening at the same time. Similarly, when India is playing Australia, England and South Africa can be happening at the same time. So many tournaments. Most of the world plays cricket from November to March, and England and in India you can have it in July, August, September. So have 2 test match windows. It's just a no-brainer, complete no-brainer. Why we don't have this? And it will revive test cricket like anything, because the anticipation for this Ashes. Have you seen the anticipation for this Ashes on social media and stuff? It is insane.
Yeah. I want to do a separate Ashes preview next
week. This
we'll
have
to give it like a proper, like full on.
Yeah, and we don't have to. I mean, the Aussie broadcasters, the British broadcasters are doing a fantabulous job. Like, look at how Channel 7 is ramping up their podcast, the radio shows, Fox Cricket, everything. Getting Stuart Broad in Channel 7 has already started a little bit of tension between England and Australia. That is what marquee series should be, right? Not not the raddi thing that our broadcasters inflict on us. A marquee series should be something, where there is a little bit of added animosity and stuff like that. See, unfortunately, even in broadcasting, Kushal, and I've seen this, like when you have India Australia, Matthew Hayden is so tied to the IPL and CSK that sometimes I feel like I'm listening to an Indian commentator give commentary, and there's nothing on Hayden. He's just mentally tied. The level of tension that you have a Stuart Broad when he goes into an Australian commentary box, or when a Glenn McGrath comes into an English commentary box, is totally missing. And India and Australia on field have that potential. Or when Ravi Shastri and Nasser Hussain used to commentate on India England series and have go against each other, we need that in India. At marquee series, we are all too very like, ha, sab theek hai, ha. Sunil Gavaskar, when we used to see, as kids of 90s, we remember when Gavaskar used to travel in as a part of the overseas commentary delegations, and he would be the lone Indian voice in the thing. He would give it back. Just look up 2007 2008 Border Gavaskar Trophy. Ravi Shastri and Sunil Gavaskar, how they absolutely gave it back to the Aussie commentators in the studio. It was fun, man. Like, there was a little bit of added edge. Jeffrey Boycott, Ian Chappell, you need that sort of passion. Tony Gregg in the commentary box, and that's missing, but it still exists in the Ashes. And Michael Vaughan giving it to the Aussies, and Merv Hughes, Ian Botham. You're going to see that this time. You're absolutely going to see that.
See, as far as the commentary bit is concerned, I just heard Mark Howard, uska naam, wo jo Australian hai,
Mark Howard, yes,
the great cricketer. So he explained it very well. First of all, people need to get over कि अरे गोरे लोगों को बोलने को मिलता है और बाकी लोगों को, Indians को बोलने को नहीं मिलता है. I watch a few of these Gora podcasts now. Great cricketer, Willow Talk, और ये सब. Even stick to cricket. I don't watch it because the product is better or product is worse of anything. I like to research and understand cultural takes on cricket. That's why I watch them. So very interesting. Mark Howard ko sunte hue, he said about the commentary, right? He's like, so different cultures have different demands. Like when Shane Warne, it was like he was just basically saying that it was very hard to shut Shane Warne up in the commentary box, and at times, the producers would have to leave a paper there about leaving a pause, because Australian sensibilities like pause. You go to England, the pause is even bigger than the Australian sensibility.
And that is because of one man, Richie Beno. He revolutionized broadcasting.
But he said it is the complete opposite in the Indian. He's like, these guys, when they have commentary in India, the producers actually do their market research. Indians like boom, boom, punchline, 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 punchline. You keep increasing the adrenaline because Indians like that. Now, what happens is maybe a person like you and a person like, Nikhil and me, some of us, we enjoy the old school commentary. I'm not saying that is bad. That's just a preference. But what I'm trying to say is that there is no grand conspiracy. Two, something I've noticed, because I listen to Willow Talk, and Alyssa Healy comes on Willow Talk. And if people who have not notice the amount of time his Adam Peacock, the host, the main guy who runs the podcast, he says things against Cricket Australia, or he criticizes Cricket Australia. And Alyssa Healy has to walk around it by saying, I have to be careful of, and he openly says, I have to be careful about what I say.
Correct.
So ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आप अपने क्रिकेट बोर्ड को सुना सकते हो गोरे देशों में.
नहीं सुना सकते हो. मैं उल्टा बोल रहा हूँ.
हमारे यहाँ प्रॉब्लम क्या है मालूम है? हमारे यहाँ ये जो सेंसरशिप का कल्चर है ना, ये होता है मीडिया में. हम मीडिया में करते हैं. अभी जैसे अगर अभी ये हावर्ड भी था, ये भी बियॉन्ड द पॉइंट नहीं ज्यादा बोला क्रिकेट ऑस्ट्रेलिया के खिलाफ. ये भी नहीं बोला.
नहीं, पर मैं उल्टा बोल रहा हूँ. देखो, इन क्रिकेट ऑस्ट्रेलिया दे हैव टू सेट्स ऑफ कवरेजेस एज दे डू इन इंग्लैंड. दे हैव BBC क्रिकेट फॉर हाइलाइट्स एंड स्काई स्पोर्ट्स फॉर ब्रॉडकास्ट. क्रिकेट ऑस्ट्रेलिया हैज क्रिकेट 7 and Foxtel, and both have different sets of sensibilities, and they have 3 radio stations. The problem in India is India has only one feed in English. Like, there is no English radio feed, there are no multi feeds for English. We can afford to have it. And I agree, the Hindi feed has more banter and stuff like that, so you can have the international feed as more catered to the international audience. Instead, we have had a dumbing down of discourse where every field only tries for punchline. Okay, so you can have 2 separate English feeds and then let people decide now what they want and what they don't want. Or
Fair
दूसरी
enough.
वो and दूसरी बात ये है कि who you pick as the commentators, right? You can have Indian commentators go and do broadcast sort of broadcast courses and stuff. Initially, Indian radio commentary, like the times of Narottam Puri, A.G. Talyar Khan, your Hindi commentator, Sushil Doshi, all those people, they were extraordinary broadcasters. Narottam Puri used to also do broadcasting for BBC and stuff. Are you going to tell me Anjum Chopra and Murli Karthik will be hired by any global broadcaster? And Anjum
No,
Chopra and Murli Karthik
no, they
headline
won't.
in the top 6 Indian commentators in Indian domestic coverage. And
No,
you're
but
telling
here's the thing, right? Do we really know how good they are? Because if the production line is going to define what is needed and what is not needed, then what do you do? Like, if they
no, you
need
can
it,
no
like
Dinesh
if the
Karthik is
producer
no
in
no no
India says,
Dinesh Karthik
"Arey
is
bore
still
mat
good.
karo, excitement lao," then what do you do?
Dinesh Karthik is still good. Dinesh Karthik does England, Australia, and India, and he's fabulous throughout, right? And Dinesh Karthik was not an Indian discovery. Dinesh Karthik got employed by Sky Sports, and then India was like, "Arey, we should look beyond Ravi Shastri, Gavaskar, and Murli Karthik to Dinesh Karthik. He might be good also." See, the Indian broadcasters are also lazy. They don't like to look at good voices. All the new good voices are actually employed by BBC and Foxtel. They do research into Indian commentators, get it. So when England toured India and employed Dinesh Karthik and Stuart Broad, that's how they became popular, and that's how DK started getting into Indian
Yeah, but
thing.
it's the same. IPL hires Mark Howard.
No. I
India, right?
no
So
no
it's
no. So
not like that. I think India also hires so many
I,
overseas
IPL
commentators.
is
I
different.
just
No
think
no.
Indian commentators in English suck.
Yeah, IPL is a different thing. मैं तो सिर्फ इंडियन डोमेस्टिक कमेंट्री की बात कर
यार
रहा था.
घंटा यार आईपीएल में भी बीसीसीआई का से होता है क्या? घंटा नहीं होता उधर
नहीं
बीसीसीआई
नहीं,
का.
आई एम सेइंग बट
My
IPL.
my true belief is that Indian commentators suck. You just have to face the facts. They
Yeah,
suck in English.
sadly.
They suck, and
Mhm.
and it's very hard to find a decent commentator in
Correct.
English language, and in Hindi the market demands different shit. Like I
Mhm.
can't stand Hindi commentary. It's
Mhm.
just it's just so kind of it's just irritating. Like I know a lot of people say no, Ravi Shastri on Fox is way better than Ravi
Oh
Shastri
yeah,
on
agreed. I
BCCI.
agree.
I don't know, man. I mean, ठीक है थोड़ा बहुत उधर वो करता है मगर you know what they do? The Goras also make Ravi Shastri do Ravi Shastri-esque things over
Yeah,
there.
correct.
So what's it like? I think
No, but
only thing is
he
Ravi
doesn't have a
Shastri
censor.
did 2-3 more things over
Huh.
there.
Harsha Bhogle is diametrically different on Fox than he is on Indian TV.
Yeah.
Harsha
Like
Bhogle
Sanjay
is
Manjrekar is going to be weird everywhere.
Sanjay Manjrekar is.
Like, look, Ian Bishop comes in Indian broadcast, right? He's good there too. Mark Howard comes on an Indian
मेरे
broadcast.
हिसाब से भाई
He's good there too.
मेरे
I just
हिसाब
think
से
Indian commentary sucks.
No, Kushal, you actually raised a good point. मेरे हिसाब से, Michael Holding had moved to England and used to do all Sky Sports broadcast, irrespective of whether West Indies or BCCI should hire Ian Bishop and put him on a retainer and do every goddamn
Yeah,
domestic series because he's that
exactly.
good. He's that good. उसको ले लो भाई, और उसको भी वेस्ट इंडीज क्यों, why subject him to watch the heartbreaks where West Indies loses to freaking Nepal? They lost to Nepal in the last series. तो क्यों बेचारे इयान बिशप को भेजते हो? Rather than that, employ him. Don't make him a BCCI commentator. Just hire him for all domestic series. He should be doing India, South Africa, and India, New Zealand. I see. I'll be happy during India, New Zealand because I think we'll get to hear Ian Smith. Ian Smith is excellent as
Like I
as a
said,
commentator.
eventually, if you look at it, most English commentators also suck.
Mhm.
Most commentators in most countries suck. India has gone the next level. They have found everybody that sucks.
हम लोग बराबरी वाले
हम socialist हैं. Equal distribution of suckiness.
हाँ, एब्सोल्युटली. एंड अच्छा, एक चीज तो पक्का होगा नेक्स्ट ईयर के T20 वर्ल्ड कप में, मिराक्युलसली इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान आर अगेन गोइंग टू बी इन द सेम ग्रुप. I don't.
Why is there a World Cup every 2 years? ये T20 का World Cup क्या है यार?
If Jay Shah is listening to this podcast, I challenge you, sir, to not have India Pakistan in the same group. Let's see what happens. एक बार कोशिश तो करो भाई कि इंडिया पाकिस्तान अगर मिलेंगे तो मिलेंगे यार. Stop this imposition of India Pakistan and Indian team having to go to Colombo for let Pakistan get knocked out in Colombo. Because unnecessary controversy. फिर हैंडशेक किया, चेस्ट पंप किया, फिस्ट पंप किया, क्या बकवास यार. I mean, why do we subject ourselves?
लोगों से मेरे को थोड़ी उम्मीद है अभी इंडियन साइड में कि डीके ठीक है. हर्षा तो I still like हर्षा भोगले. I honestly like Varun Aaron a lot. मेरे को वो अच्छा लग रहा है.
No, actually, Varun Aaron is exceptional. Rahul Dravid was very good, but Dravid doesn't want to do commentary.
नहीं करना है यार, वो लोगों को नहीं आना है यार. I think Dravid and these guys ना, I think अश्विन को लाओ यार. अश्विन को लाओ यार.
Exactly.
पटाओ. कोई तो रविचंद्रन अश्विन को पटाओ. See, the thing is, Ravichandran Ashwin speaks his mind. How much of that can BCCI handle?
Who cares, man? मजा आएगा देखने में. It'll be so much fun to watch. And before people say, someone actually told me, oh, Ravichandran Ashwin and DK played for the same team. Man, so did Harsha Bhogle, Sunil Gavaskar, Ravi Shastri. They all belong to the same part of India. So if you can do that in the commentary box, you can also do Ashwin and DK.
Robin Uthappa भी अच्छा है. Somebody has said. Actually, हाँ, Robin Uthappa भी ठीक है. Yeah, Robin Uthappa is ठीक. और उसका भी ज्यादा नहीं होगा क्योंकि he is also now doing that pod with Jared or if he is also.
सनी भाई रिटायर तो हो, सनी और रवि रिटायर तो हो. See, one.
नहीं, रवि रिटायर नहीं हो, मगर सनी भाई का तो
No, Ravi also should retire. Bob Willis, Ian Botham, David Gower were both told to retire at the same time. Ian Botham does freelance stuff. Ravi Shastri can do freelance stuff for other commentary teams. But India has to look. Unfortunately, Ravi Shastri and Gavaskar are two big trees. जिसके under there are other trees not, growing up. So we have to move beyond.
I just can't wait for sensational commentary back again. Anyway, chalo, let's start taking super chats from the beginning.
Yes.
Why does Gambhir favor left-handers so much? Do you think Tilak Verma, Abhishek Sharma, Ruturaj deserve chances in tests? Prasidh Krishna coming back. Prasidh Krishna के टेस्ट सीरीज खेलेगा इंडिया में. वो मर के ओवरसीज खेलता है. तुमको उसको इंडिया में खिलाना है. सिराज और बुमराह की जगह नहीं बन रही है पूरी तरह से और तुमको प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा को लाना है.
प्रसिद्ध नहीं खेलेगा.
लेफ्ट हैंडर्स, देयर आर नो मोर एक्स्ट्रा लेफ्ट हैंडर्स. I think some people believe in that left hand right hand combination, and I think
I wish he favors one left hander, Yashasvi Jaiswal. Ruturaj I don't think can play because unfortunately for Ruturaj I think there is just that spot is just full right now, like in throughout, right? If we can't play Jaiswal in 3 games, Ruturaj कहाँ खेलने वाला है?
Yeah.
In 3 formats.
Shortening the length of the pitch alone would do a lot in improving women's cricket. I think not only shortening the length, I think the ball, it's just unfair. I was just looking at palm sizes and why are the girls being given the same cricket ball? I just think it creates problems for the girls. Because if it's a slightly smaller ball, they can tweak it a little more and it will turn more. I think the girls would create a better product then. And I think in many ways, the girls' product would become better than the boys' product then.
So I have a solution also. You have 5 stadiums identified in India that only for women's cricket. They are constructed with certain dimensions. They're constructed with certain pitch sizes. And that should be the case throughout the world, right? Brabon Stadium could be one of them. You could have in Mumbai. I'll give you an example. In Ahmedabad, there is the old Sardar Patel Stadium in the city, right, where no one plays, where ICL used to happen. That can be. There are seconds in Hyderabad. There is a second stadium. There are so many places in India with a second stadium which can be developed for women's cricket. So I think this is a fabulous point. shortening the pitches, maybe changing the ball size, and having certain stadiums in England and Australia and India just where women's cricket is played.
See, the problem is like the cricket, मैं तेरे को exact बताता हूँ. जैसे men's ball है ना, वो 155.9 to 163 grams होता है, और women's ball 140 to 141 होता है.
Correct.
But the problem is the circumference, which is where my problem is. The circumference, right, for the men's ball, depending on which you are using, right, वो Kookaburra या Dukes या SG, men's का 22.4 to 22.9 है, और women का 21 to 22.5 है. This is where I honestly genuinely feel it's being unfair on the girls. I think it's unfair on the girls, and I think maybe थोड़ा सा कम करके tweak करके देख. It's just unfair because the palm size is distinctly different, यार.
Right.
Distinctly different है. You are being so unfair on the girls because of that. In my view.
Yeah, absolutely right. We are, and we are not making a good product. And so to someone who said that D.Y. Patil was a good choice, D.Y. Patil was a good choice for the final, but you are not going to have 50,000 or 40,000 people in every game. So you can have it at smaller stadiums of 10, 15,000 each, where smaller pitches are there, and you can have encourage people to come and watch it.
Okay,
next question.
Do you think Priyansh Arya and Prabsimran Singh should be given a chance in T20s to open? No यार, कितने लोगों को चांस दोगे भाई, जो है उनको ही खिला दो.
नहीं, और
जयसवाल को तो खिला नहीं रहे हो T20 और दूसरों को घुसेड़ रहे हो तुम.
No, और Priyansh Arya has had a couple of good knocks, and so has Prabsimran, but they have not been consistent. My problem with Prabsimran is he's not consistent. Abhishek Sharma was freaking consistent, man, and that's why he was given a chance. So no, I disagree with that. But good question.
इंडिया के अलावा नो बायलैटरल्स आर वॉच्ड इवन इन मेंस, इसलिए तो इंडिया को ही सब लोग टूर कराते हैं.
नहीं
आ जाओ.
नहीं भाई, look at Ashes. I guarantee you that India, in England, Australia is going to have 10 times the viewership as India, South Africa, and it's not even going to be close. I'm saying this with full responsibility. Look at England, New Zealand, the test series that happened in New Zealand, 3 test matches. Every single game was packed, right? So ऐसा नहीं है भाई. It's just that we think that only India, even Australia, New Zealand, when they play in certain times, it's what in their countries, cricket is not the number one sport, so there is a season for cricket. हाँ, इंडिया में 12 महीने कुछ भी नहीं चल रहा है तो लोग क्रिकेट देखते हैं, but people do go and watch bilaterals in other countries as well.
Okay, I'm only afraid that our batting order is not settling ahead of the T20 World Cup, and things like sending Dubey at 1 down or beyond me. Why don't we have Sky, Tilak as 3-4 and get them some form? Harshit Rana can't play T20. Harshit Rana जितना न्यूज़ में रहता है ना,
I saw a meme about Harshit Rana and Gambhir. I'm not going to repeat that on air, but it was very funny. It was equating the India team and Mirzapur. किसी ने अगर देखा हो तो देख ले.
Was it Thala for a reason वाला?
नहीं, वो एक दूसरा वाला था, मैं तुझे बाद में बोलूंगा. But basically it's too mean. But मैं सुबह ही देखा. No, I think Harshit is a good kid, yeah, but I think he's just getting unfair treatment by Gambhir favoring him too much. I don't know why Dubey is at 1 down. I don't know why Dubey is in the 15. I don't think Dubey should be in the 15. But the only reason I can think of is because Hardik Pandya is not fit.
विकेट ले लेके तुमको दुखी कर रहा है सबको.
नहीं, दुखी नहीं. It's just that Hardik Pandya injured है तो Shivam Dubey understand. If Hardik Pandya is fit, कैसे खेले?
Harshit Rana is the new Shiklaji.
अत्र तत्र सर्वत्र Harshit ji.
Harshit Rana मस्त है यार. शुक्ला जी मस्त.
They have to figure out the Sky and Tilak situation because unfortunately Tilak Verma, when he looks good, but
ये सबसे खतरनाक ये देखो. Hope Gautam Gambhir doesn't go mad and drop Kuldeep and play Washi and Akshar in tests. It is bad obsession. कोई बोल नहीं सकता है भाई. हमारा गौतम गंभीर भाई कुछ भी कर सकता है.
फिर वो जाके कोई प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बोल देगा, डोंट लुक एट द स्क्वाड दैट आई पिक्ड, लुक एट द फ्लैग ऑन द स्क्वाड, ऐसा कुछ पागलपन कर देगा गौतम गंभीर. ही इज मैन क्रेजी गाय.
एक मिनट, भाई रिकल्टन इज प्लेइंग एज अ प्रॉपर बैटर. ही स्क्वाड के उसमें लिखा है ही इज अ कीपर टू. ही इज अ ऑप्शन एज अ कीपर.
और
So he
भाई
can
और
play.
रिसर्च, भाई ओके मैं थोड़ा बोल दूं इनको, हम रिसर्च कर चुके हैं. टेम्बा बवुमा डिड नॉट प्ले द लास्ट सीरीज. That's
Yeah,
why Rickleton played along with Kyle Verre. Now
yeah,
Temba is back. So Temba did not play the last test match. That is why. So the whole question was if who drops out. And in my
yeah.
opinion, it would be either दो कीपर को क्यों खिलाएंगे वो.
नहीं, Kyle Verena will most likely drop out and Rickleton
नहीं
will keep.
वो बट काइल वेरेना इज अ बेटर कीपर राइट. ये इनका ध्रुव जुरैल ऋषभ पंत वाला सिचुएशन है कि one is a better keeper, the other is a better batter. So what do they pick? That's what they have to pick. So unfortunately that's why we had to respond.
इतना जल्दी स्टार्ट करना है तो पर्थ में कर देते थे इंडिया साउथ अफ्रीका सीरीज का.
नहीं पर यूज टू होना चाहिए ना हमको. इंडिया इतना वास्ट देश है, अलग टाइम्स. इफ वी डोंट हैव डिफरेंट टाइम जोन्स देयर हैज टू बी डिफरेंट टाइम्स फॉर टेस्ट मैचेस. दैट्स द ओनली वे. और पर्थ में होता ही है. इट्स अ गुड पॉइंट. पर्थ में 3 घंटा लेट ही है ना, बिकॉज ऑस्ट्रेलिया इज सो वाइड. सो रेस्ट ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया वॉचेज इट एट अ डिफरेंट टाइम. सो एडलेड में अलग टाइम पे शुरू होता है, आधा आधा घंटा. दे ट्वीक अराउंड विद टाइम्स ऑल द टाइम. सो दे नीड इन.
Ask Tehseen if Adar Poonawalla is buying Virat Sahni. मैं क्या वेला बैठा हूँ क्या? मैं यही करता रहूं. मैं तहसीन को लो और कोई मेरे को काम नहीं है क्या?
मतलब कल पूछेंगे कि आस्क आदित इफ डिंपल कपाड़िया इज एक्टिंग इन द नेक्स्ट मूवी और समथिंग. वो पुना
नहीं
वाला
तहसीन knows आधार पूनावाला और नॉट इज नन ऑफ माय. मेरे को क्या करना है कौन आरसीबी खरीद रहा है यार?
लास्ट
मेरे को
लास्ट में.
मामा लगता है वो जो आरसीबी जो खरीद रहा है.
हाँ,
Is Pant a good enough fielder to play Dhruv as a wicket keeper? No, it will be the ulta. I think Dhruv is a good enough fielder, so if he plays, he's fielding.
इंटरेस्टिंग.
You guys don't look like you have heard Nasir Hussain जब चाटता है बेन स्टोक्स की makes Shastri look balanced. भाई nobody loves Virat Kohli more than Shastri loves Virat Kohli.
हाँ
Please,
हाँ
थोड़ा
प्लीज.
ज्यादा हो गया.
हाँ शास्त्री मतलब ही कुड डिस्क्राइब कोहली बेटर देन अनुष्का शर्मा डिस्क्राइब्स विराट कोहली.
Yes, yes.
सो
जायसवाल should try अंडी बंदी शंडी जो रन आउट कर रहा है. Is there any chance to improve team selection by Gautam Gambhir? He is consistent from day one of this. देखो कितना हमको कंटेंट देता है गौतम गंभीर. हाँ ये देखो ये आया दुबे का फैन. दुबे इज अ वेरी गुड हिट बॉलर. ये सच्चा दुबे फैन है.
प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट दैट. प्रॉब्लम इज जब वो बाउंसर डालता है. डिड यू सी हाउ ही गॉट आउट? ही मतलब उसको बाउंसर डाला, उसने गाइड कर दिया कीपर को बॉल. ही एक्चुअली डज नॉट नो हाउ टू प्ले द बाउंसर.
बहुत एंटरटेनिंग है वो आदमी.
हाँ स्पिनर्स को ठोकता है वो. सो चेन्नई चेपॉक के लिए वो बहुत सही है, क्योंकि चेन्नई में बाउंसर डालो तो भी यहाँ वेस्ट तक ही आती है. बट वी आर नॉट. इंडिया इज नॉट प्लेइंग 8 गेम्स आउट ऑफ 14 इन 7 गेम्स आउट ऑफ 14 इन चेपॉक.
ये देखो मेरी कितनी प्रशंसा हो रही है. This analysis is on point. If Sunil Pal was a political analyst, he would sound like Kushal bhai. Also, his writing gives me PN Oak vibe. भाई PN Oak का नाम मत लेना साला. इतना फिड़कू आदमी है वो.
Did you look at the name of the handle?
हाँ तो इसके लिए मैंने कुछ बोला. इसके लिए मैंने कुछ बोला नहीं. ये हमेशा आता है ऐसे ही घटिया वाहियात हरकतें करके जाता है.
We should be like that sports thing. अरे क्या बकवास कर रहे हैं आप? क्या बकवास. Have you seen those memes?
मुझे एक्चुअली जोरदार मुठ मारे तुम जाओ उसमें स्पोर्ट्स यारी पे. उधर जाके इसको बर्बाद करो.
यार क्या बकवास कर रहे हैं आप? That should be the super chat. मेरे हैंडल का नाम पढ़िए. Josh D92. That's right.
वो यार वो लेजेंड था यार. Josh D92 उसने शो मारी जो मारी तो बर्बाद कर दिया था उसने लाइव स्ट्रीम को. अरे I thought GG favors KRK folks but then look at रिंकू. अबे कितने डालेगा वो.
But then look at वरुण चक्रवर्ती. वो भी तो है. मतलब क्या यार. I mean
वरुण चक्रवर्ती तो anyway should be there in the side.
I think Kuldeep is a better bowler than Varun Chakravarti in Indian conditions because the other teams cannot play him. That's the problem.
अच्छा लास्ट एक न्यूज था. वो आईसीसी का इंडिया पाकिस्तान के बाद सूर्य कुमार यादव को फाइन 30% मैच फी, 2 डीमेरिट पॉइंट. वो फरहान जो था उनका, साहिबजादा फरहान, उसको 1 डीमेरिट पॉइंट,
बंदूक वाला।
और हारिस राउफ को 2 बार किया था, तो उसको तो 2 मैच से ही निकाल दिया। सो हाँ,
हमें
मतलब ये
प्राउड
क्या
है
है
हमारे हारिस भाई पे, 2 मैच में देखो। और मोहसिन नकवी की ट्रॉफी अभी भी उसके पास ही है।
अरे वो आज ही फोटो दिखाता हूँ, देख तेरे को।
हाँ मैंने देखा वो फोटो, इट्स सो फनी मैन।
ताला में लॉक एंड की में रखेला है भाई, रख ले,
इट इज सो
लॉक एंड
फनी।
की में रखेला है, मतलब इट इज
नेक्स्ट
इंसेन।
नेक्स्ट अक्षय कुमार मूवी, ए रॉ मिशन टू रिट्रीव एशिया कप फॉर इंडिया।
ये देखो, ये एशियन की, मतलब ऐसी वियर्ड हरकतें है ना, ऐसी वियर्ड हरकतें सिर्फ पाकिस्तानी कर सकता है।
नहीं मतलब बॉलीवुड शुड एक्चुअली मेक अ मूवी, हम एशिया कप को लेके आए हमारे टीम के लिए।
ये देखो, ये देखो, लॉक करके अंदर ट्रॉफी रखी है, आओ ले आराम दादा, आओ ले।
So funny man, this is so
It's so
funny.
weird man, what the hell, like is this a real sport? ये कोई स्पोर्ट है?
Oh god.
लाइक 2 साल के बच्चों वाली हरकतें होती है इसमें।
This is so funny.
जोरदार बुट मार रही है, और न्यू कनिष्का सिंह, आई थिंक दैट इज द सेम पर्सन।
That is the same.
यस, आई थिंक इट्स द सेम पर्सन।
अरे मैंने कहीं I forget who did this comment, this guy from TVF, he mimicked वो जो है ना, वो वासे और इफी, वासे हबीब और इफी का जो, आई थिंक इफी इज द वन दैट स्क्रीम्स लाइक क्रेजी, एंड शिवांकित परिहार वाज इट और समवन फ्रॉम टीवीएफ डिड ए फैबुलस स्पूफ ऑफ हाउ दे टॉक, अबे बाबर आजम को कैसे खेलते हो करके, यू नो। अगर वो क्लिप कहीं मिले किसी को यूट्यूब पे, प्लीज शेयर इट विथ अस, वी विल प्ले दैट क्लिप ऑन द नेक्स्ट पॉडकास्ट। And if you can go and I think it was a TVF fellow, मैं भूल गया मैंने कहाँ ये सुना था, it is the funniest shit ever man। कितना आप लोगों से क्या इफी की मिमिक्री की है, it was brilliant।
Yeah, but before we go, I just want to remind people, this is what
हाँ
the
किसी
state
ने
of
बोला
women's
शिवांकित परिहार in the air and dropped podcast। thank you।
शिवांकित परिहर, चलो मैं देखता हूँ, but I want to play this. This was so sad.
कितना आप लोगों को सैलरी कितनी पर मैच, कितना फीस पर मैच मिलती थी या एनुअल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता था?
हमारा एनुअल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तो था ही नहीं, एनुअल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तो बीसीसीआई के अंडर ही आया है, एंड देयर वाज नो मैच फीस, हमें कोई मैच फीस नहीं था।
फिर
वी वर, आई रिमेम्बर इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, जब हम 2005 वर्ल्ड कप रनर्स अप थे, तो व्हेन वी केम बैक वी वर गिवन 1000 पर मैच, सो वी प्लेड अबाउट 8 गेम्स आई थिंक, तो कुछ
1000 रुपए एक मैच की
फॉर दैट टूर्नामेंट। तो हमको कोई मैच फीस नहीं था उस वक्त, देयर वाज एब्सोल्युटली नो मनी इन द स्पोर्ट, तो मैच फीस कहाँ से मिलती?
कर लो मजा, ये हाल था 2005 में, 2005, शर्म भी नहीं आती लोगों को साला।
मतलब the fact that we went into the freaking in the what you may call finals after, you know, in spite of this itself tells you क्या टीम थी हमारी, and मतलब how the women played above and beyond. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
And by the way, how many remember her? I think this is Diana Adalji. And her.
Pioneer. See, you know, unfortunately, people don't remember the contribution of Parsis in Indian cricket, both in women and men's.
By the way, that
cricket,
was Sandhya Agarwal.
No, but the reason I bring up Diana Adulji, another Parsi cricketer, phenomenal, like just kept, you know, born in Mumbai, kept playing cricket at a very young age, and was a huge champion for the women's game. Played from 1976 to 1991, and was almost a, you know, great sort of thing. So, anyways, chalo, we'll wrap up. I'll have to run. Kushal?
Yeah, tu ja wo, I think we have the clip. Oh, तूने कुछ तो clip बोली थी ना?
हाँ वो क्लिप थी, यस।
कहाँ है वो?
नहीं वो मेरे पास नहीं है वो क्लिप, पीपल
नहीं, somebody has tagged me on Twitter, ऐसा बोला गया है।
अच्छा
देखें तो क्या क्लिप है, मैं तो देखता नहीं हूँ ये सब वाहियात चीजें, तुम लोग जो देखते हो। कहाँ है भाई? I तो don't sees.
neither do I.
ये हाँ। क्या देखें जरा, क्या है ये?
शुभमन गिल टेस्ट का बहुत बड़ा प्लेयर है यार। उसने इंग्लैंड में जो पारियां खेली हैं, पाकिस्तान का 10 साल आने वाले में कोई नहीं खेल सकता है। अरे लेकिन ऐसी क्या रहम है तुम्हारी, T20 क्यों खेलना है तुम्हें? क्यों खेलना है T20? वो तुम्हारा जायसवाल बैठा है यार, वो दोनों तरफ से मारेंगे ये दोनों। ये सिंगल लेके अभिषेक शर्मा को स्ट्राइक देता है कि ले तू मार। अरे तू भी तो मार। इन्हें खाली ऐड चाहिए, सुंदर सुंदर दिखने वाले लड़कों को ऐड में आ जाए। टेस्ट मैच वालों को खुदा की रहम से कोई ऐड नहीं।
Isn't it spot on? It was so good. It was so good.
That was good.
Yeah,
Thoughts on Samson Jadeja trade? Jadeja wants to be the captain, though. That's what I hear.
Samson or RR were not in good terms, anyways. But Kushal, chal, I'll have to leave. So,
yeah, chal tu nikal.
Folks, we'll be back on Friday with Bihar elections, though. So
Bihar elections ka live stream, and Wednesday we'll do an Ashes preview also.
Correct.
So
Chalo.
you will see too much of Adit.
हाँ, तो they are not complaining. तू साले क्यों complain कर रहा है?
जा भाई, चलेगा तो निकल जा.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So और कुछ था क्या? मैं just देख रहा हूँ if I missed anything. अरे कुछ और तो मैंने मिस नहीं किया ना? नहीं. I have covered everything. Okay, चलो. So all right, guys, we'll wrap up today's chat. If you've not hit the like button on this video right now, do it right away. Otherwise, India will lose this series against South Africa. Subscribe to the Cārvāka podcast YouTube channel. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or on iTunes, leave a rating or leave a review there. And if you want to support this podcast, do consider joining the membership program. This podcast only runs on that. So whether on Patreon or on YouTube, or you want to send one-time donations through UPI or in Interac Canada, please consider supporting the podcast. This podcast only runs on those small supporting things. अगर आप कर सकते हो तो जरूर करना, नहीं तो we will keep on doing what we are doing anyways. वो तो हम करते ही रहेंगे. And yes, like I said, on Friday बिहार elections की analysis करेंगे मैं और आदित. And on Wednesday we will do a preview of the entire Ashes. Monday ko I might do a monologue. I want to talk about something. So, if I book something, then it's different, but most likely it's going to be a monologue. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care. Tata, bye bye.